What should the federal government do to resolve supply chain issues?
So I think, to be fair to the federal government, it's a worldwide issue. So obviously supply chain's been heavily affected by COVID. So I think once COVID is resolved, supply chain issues will resolve. But at the same time, they should look at port congestion and the ability to move product from ports across the country.
Yes, there are some issues with supply chain, but I feel that a lot of it has actually been overblown. And as an Albertan, I feel that specifically in Alberta it's been used as a bit of a political hot potato to say, oh, look, everything's horrible and that kind of thing. And yet it actually hasn't been that bad. I think you have to be a little bit creative about finding certain things, but or be a bit more patient, or you can't always get the exact one product that you want. But honestly, it's not like the grocery shelves are bare, and they're not.
I think they're working on it. Yeah, I'll leave it up to the experts. But that's the role of government, to come up with solutions.
Well, it seems to be a global thing, so I really don't know if the federal government can really do a whole lot about it. I would just say don't panic too much, and hope things kind of work out as we kind of come out of COVID.
Consider the stakeholders that are impacted by that and ask them for what their insights are, because I would imagine they probably have a better idea of the logistics and everything that goes into that.
Right now, with the vaccination requirements for the truckers, I think they should do something about that, definitely. Right, straighten that one out. That's a big problem.
Supply chain. A lot of it is, I think some of it's out of the government's control, but, they definitely need to look at things that'll make things easier for people to get their goods across the border.
People should buy locally. I mean, I come to the farmer's market, there's plenty of fresh produce, there's no empty shelves. Buy local.
I was having the same issue with meat, like it wasn't on stock, so what do? I have to find an alternative way to eat like tofu, more vegetables and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not good.
Well, it's all about supply and demand, right? So if you don't have that product on the shelf, there's got to be a reason why. So it could be because it's a trucker thing, right? There's no deliveries. I'm more concerned, to be honest with you, about retail stores that don't have products and have nothing on the shelves, that it's small mom and pop stores that they don't have anything. So I think we should be worried about them and not big box stores.
I'm not gonna lie, the shelves are pretty empty right now. People don't have a lot of patience waiting in the long lines right now. It gets a bit hectic sometimes.
What do you think we should do about that?
Add more staff. I feel like these businesses need to reinstate their staff. People need the money right now. They need to work, and for the beneficial of the public, we should have more staff on hand.
I haven't had any trouble. I've seen less, but it's not caused me any real troubles yet.
For those people that are having that problem and not being able to get things, what do you think the federal government should do about it?
Well, I like the idea of the truckers doing their protests, and hopefully they just continue doing their jobs, and we all just do the best we can until it gets back to better than normal.
I've never been to a store yet that I wanted something and it wasn't there. So I think that the stores are doing okay.
I think they can increase the minimum wage to support the people who work for minimum wage, and so that they will be able to make a decent income, so that they will want to work at grocery stores and things like that.
I think there's two aspects to the problem. One relates to the supply chains, and one relates to the safety of the grocery store workers. With respect to the requirement for vaccination, I personally support it, and but for grocery store workers, I think that they could increase their wages. There has been absenteeism, but there's also been a lot of illness too, I think.
At the benefit of what? At the cost of what? And right now, when you have people that aren't involved in that, suffering, getting their rations and whatnot, it's kind of, you know, I think it loses part of the support that you could put into it, you know?
I think they can increase like the traffic, you know what I mean, for the food right now. Because I mean, doing this, the truckers, they're the one bringing the food in, right? So if they can't get across the border or bring merchandise anywhere, they can't do their job, which means a shortage in the groceries. So they could do something about it right now instead of letting this keep on going, because clearly there has to be a change that has to be done. So because people got to eat, right? Everybody's got to eat. So I think like if they allow them to do their thing again, to work, like go across the border and all over, I think the food is going to come back up. You know what I mean?